Hey guys, back with another video. We're going to go ahead and start in child's pose. After last week's video, I decided I wanted to really give myself the space to just do everything that felt good in my body and really take time in my practice. So this is a longer class, about an hour and 10 minutes. And it's a pretty basic vinyasa style class. We go through all the different sequences without a whole lot of fancy stuff. So it's a really good intro to vinyasa. Inhale and come to your hands and knees. And take a few rounds of cat and cow tilts, moving with your breath. Inhale, lifting the tailbone, opening up the chest. Then exhaling, taking your chin to your chest and rounding your spine. However many of those feel good. There's a lot of dog noise in this recording, so the breath will be very low in the mix if there at all. So just be ready to kind of move at your own pace. Inhale and come to a neutral spine, and exhale, push into downward facing dog. Stretch out your dog, do whatever you need to do here to get really comfortable. I had been working all day, so my feet were pretty sore, my ankles a little tight. Just really turn that breath on and connect to it here. Inhale and lift your right leg up. Exhale, bend the knee and open up the hips, keeping your shoulders squared to the mat, keeping your arms even, getting a nice stretch on that left leg and your right side body. Take a big inhale and straighten your leg and set it all the way back down as you exhale. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee and open the hips. Staying connected to the breath. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Empty all the way out. And then step forward to the front of your mat and come into ragdoll. Feet hip width distance apart. Strong legs and strong feet here. But then just allowing your upper body to really let go and relax. For me, there's a place, if I can relax enough in my head and in my neck, I can really feel the weight of my head pulling my spine longer, and it's an awesome opening feeling. So see if you can find that or something like it. Release your hands, walk your feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold forward, exhaling. Inhaling, come all the way up. Reaching your arms up over your head. Grounding your feet down into the mat. And then lifting up through your chest and through the crown of your head. Fingers alive, palms facing each other. And just feel the energy coming up through your feet, all the way through your fingertips. And then big inhale, up and back. And fold forward all the way back down. Halfway lift, and then step to high plank, and breathe here. Really feel your body get in line here in this high plank. Take another really deep breath in, forward and down, low plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog as you inhale, and take a couple breaths here as well. Really pressing the tops of your feet down into the mat, lifting your legs up off the mat, pushing your chest through your shoulders, really inhaling deep breaths. One more big inhale, and then downward facing dog as you exhale, really lifting your hips up to the sky. Just breathe here. Lifting your hips up with each inhale and pressing your heels down with each exhale. Deep exhale, empty out, and then step or jump forward. Halfway lift, bow forward, exhaling. Inhale, lift up and reach up all the way, up and back if you can, if it feels good. And then slowly exhaling all the way back down. Halfway lift, inhale, really fill up, and then step to high plank and lower all the way down to low plank as you exhale. Upward facing dog, big inhale. Downward facing dog all the way back. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, deep breath, lifting your hips up. Exhaling, pushing your heels down towards the mat. One more big breath in. Empty all the way out. When you're empty, float forward. Halfway lift. Bow forward, exhaling. Inhale, reach up, lift up all the way. And then bow forward on a big exhale. Really get a good stretch in those hamstrings. Halfway lift, fill up. And then high to low plank as you exhale. One long exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then downward facing dog, exhaling. Moving with that breath, allowing your breath to really propel you forward. Taking a deep breath in. Empty out. One more deep breath in. Exhale all the way out. And then jump forward, lifting your hips as high as you can. Halfway lift, inhale. And then fold forward, exhaling. Bend your knees and lift up, Utkatasana. Chair pose or lightning bolt pose. You can really get a sense of your feet here, pressing your heels and the balls of your feet down into the mat, lifting your toes up. Then tilt your tailbone down and really engage Uddiyana and feel that energy just shoot all the way straight out of your fingertips to the crown of your head. One more big inhale, fill up, and then fold forward all the way down. Halfway lift, inhale. And then jump back, chaturanga. Big exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Big exhale. Take a breath here. Exhale all the way out. One more big inhale. Fill all the way up. Exhale, empty out. One more big inhale. Lift your right leg up. And as you exhale, step it forward to warrior one. Inhale and come up. And then breathe here. First warrior one on this side. Really get settled in. Get a sense of your feet and your legs. Turn on Uddiyana Bandha if you haven't already. Really engage your core and tilt your tailbone forward. Lift your arms up. Feel the energy going through your fingertips. Big inhale all the way up and back. High to low plank as you exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, lift your left leg up, and step it forward to warrior one as you exhale. Inhale and come up. Same thing, few breaths on this side. Feeling it out. Strong foundation in your feet and your legs. Just sending energy straight up through your hands as you lift up. One more big breath in, fill up, and then high to low plank. One long exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, all the way back. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and exhale. Breathe in, lifting your hips up. Exhaling, pushing your heels towards the mat. One more big breath in. Exhale all the way out. And then float forward. Halfway lift. Fold forward, exhaling. Bend your knees and reach up, Utkatasana. And then fold forward. Halfway lift, fill up. Jump back, Chaturanga, big exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, lift up. And then high to low plank with a long exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, reach up. And then all the way back down as you exhale. Really taking your time with these. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Exhale. Fill up all the way. Empty out. And float forward. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Utkatasana, bend your knees, reach up. And fold forward. All the way down. Halfway lift, fill up. Chaturanga. Exhaling. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Big exhale. Right foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, lift up. And then bow forward all the way back down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, lift up, reach up. And then all the way back down, high to low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. One more big breath in. Lift your right leg up. Exhale, step it forward, warrior one. Inhale and lift up. Take another big breath in. Exhale. Breathe in. Empty out to warrior two. And breathe here. Warrior two, just subtle differences, opening your hips now towards the side of your mat. Allowing your chest to open up, really extending your arms out forward and backwards. Lots of energy through your fingertips. Very strong gaze here. Strong front leg. Strong back leg. Take a big inhale, reverse warrior, and side angle. You can take your elbow to your thigh, just on top of your knee. Or you can take your fingertips all the way to the floor, to the block, whichever is most comfortable. You really want to get a sense of the straight line from your heel through the crown of your head. You don't want to be dumping into that lower shoulder. Really lift up if you can. If you'd like here, take a bind. Take your upper arm behind your back, your lower arm under your leg. But when you bind here, make sure you're keeping your heart open and your chest moving towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, release your bind, and then high to low plank. Exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Step it forward to warrior one. Inhale and come up. And breathe here. Take one more deep breath in. Warrior two as you exhale. Same thing here, different side. Allow it to be different if it's different on this side. One hip might be tighter, one quad might be stronger. That's okay. Just notice it and then let it go. It's not really important. Take one more deep breath in, reverse warrior, and then come into side angle. Again, elbow to knee, fingertips to the floor, to a block. And really get a good sense of that line of energy coming from your back heel, pushing forward all the way through to the crown of your head. If you want to take a bind here, go ahead and do that. Again, you can take a full bind or a half bind. Half bind just taking your upper arm behind your back. Full bind connecting the fingertips. If you want to take the full bind with a strap or a towel, that is absolutely okay. Just whatever you can do to get your chest to open up just a little bit more. Release your bind, big inhale, reach up. High to low plank as you exhale. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step it forward, crescent lunge. So we're going to keep our left heel, our back heel, up off the ground. Our hips are squared forward. And once we feel strong in our foundation and our feet, lift our hands up, reaching up, sinking down just a little bit more in our hips with each exhale. Really try and push that back leg as straight as you can. Send as much energy through it. Big inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Breathe in. And twist to the right. With each inhale, you want to get a sense of lengthening your spine, lifting the crown of your head forward. With each exhale, twist just a tiny bit more. You really want to feel your spine expanding and opening. Inhale, open your arms. And just feel your chest getting more and more open. One more great big inhale, and then high to low plank as you exhale. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, step it forward, crescent lunge. Inhale and come up. And again, just getting set in your feet, strong legs. Getting a nice good stretch in that right hip flexor right now. If you're not feeling it, see if you can sink down just a little bit more and see if you can access that. Maybe push your right leg a little bit straighter. Just staying connected to that breath. Take a deep inhale and then hands to your heart center. One more big breath in and twist to the left. Again, each inhale lengthening, each exhale twisting a little bit more. Inhale, open your arms. Continuing with that breath, that strong, steady breath. One more big inhale. High to low plank, exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale all the way. One more big breath in. Empty out and float forward. Halfway lift. Fold forward, exhaling. Halfway lift again. And fold forward. Utkatasana, bend your knees and reach up. Hands to your heart center as you exhale. Breathe in and twist towards the right. I personally like to turn this into a little bit of a balancing pose and take my butt all the way down to my heels and lift my heels up so I'm on the balls of my feet. Just adding a little bit more challenge to this pose, and it helps me keep my heart above my hips in this twist. You can follow me in that or just stay standing in Utkatasana. Open your arms if you'd like. And exhale. Come into Ragdoll Hastapada. So hands to feet. Take your peace fingers and grab your big toes. Take a big inhale and lengthen your spine. Exhale and fold forward. Using your hands to really engage your hamstrings here. This is a resting pose, but we aren't just completely relaxing. We are trying to really deepen the stretch here. Release your hands, walk your feet back together. Inhale, halfway lift, and then fold forward. Bend your knees and reach up, Utkatasana. Hands to your heart center as you exhale. Breathe in and twist to the left. Again, with this twist, just like in crescent lunge twist, we want to be lengthening the spine on our inhales and then twisting on our exhales. Big breath in, open your arms. Each breath, each inhale and exhale is active and moving. We're not trying to stay static. This is a very dynamic practice. Exhale, come to Ragdoll. And come into gorilla pose here. Bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands underneath your feet. It gives your hands a nice little massage and massages the bottom of your feet. Feels nice. And then you can access and stretch those hamstrings by just lightly bending your knees and straightening them. Again, a resting pose, but we're also working a little bit, getting at those hamstrings, helping them release. Release your hands, walk your feet back together, and fold forward. Halfway lift. Jump back to chaturanga. Exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Big exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Low lunge. So you can call this lizard pose. With your foot outside, your right hand. Go ahead and come down onto your back knee and untuck your toes. Take your hands and place them on your front thigh. We really want to get a good hip flexor stretch here, really open up. Just gently press your hands into your thigh and lift your chest up. Place your left hand on the mat. Lift your right arm to the sky, getting a gentle twist. As you exhale, bend that back knee and take the left foot with the right hand. Just really intensifying that quad stretch, opening up more of that hip flexor. And if you start to press the foot into the hand, you'll also get a nice heart opener as well. Exhale, release the foot. Inhale, lift the back knee. And exhale into three-legged dog, sending that right leg up. Take a deep breath in, lifting up. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hips, and slowly start to flip your dog. If flip dog is not in your practice, you can stay there with your hips open, just lifting up and getting a good stretch. Inhale, reach up. Come back to downward facing dog on an exhale. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, side plank, right arm down. Really lifting your hips up, feeling a nice big opening across your chest. Look up if you can. Look up, send your gaze towards your upper arm. Lifting your hips up, arms up. One more big inhale, and then high to low plank as you exhale. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breathe in and empty out. Inhale, lift your left leg up and step it forward, low lunge. Go ahead and come on down onto that right knee, untuck the toe. And just really focus on opening up that right hip flexor. Place your right hand on the mat. Inhale, lift your left arm up, starting that twist. As you exhale, bend the right knee. Take the foot with the left hand. Getting a good stretch in that right quad, right hip flexor. And then pressing the foot into the hand to kind of open up the chest a little bit more. One more big breath in. Exhale, release the foot. Plant the hands. Inhale, lift up. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. And slowly flip all the way over to flip dog. Really planting your feet here and lifting your hips up. Reaching forward towards the front of the room. Breathe in, lift up your arm. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank. And side plank, left arm down. Again, lifting your hips up, really pushing your lower hand down into the mat. And lifting your upper arm up. And exhale, high to low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Take a deep breath in and empty out. Breathe in, empty all the way out, and float forward. Halfway lift, bow forward. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, big breath in, lift your right knee. And exhale, come into eagle. Right leg over, right arm under. Get a nice tight high wrap in your legs. Engage Uddiyana Bandha, and with each exhale, start to sink down. Just focusing on your breath. Breathe in, unwrap your legs, reach up. Exhale. And switch other side. Left leg over, left arm under. You want to keep your elbows up to keep your arms parallel with the floor, your upper arms parallel with the floor. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands to your heart center. Take a deep breath in and reach up. Deep breath in, reach up, lift your right leg up, and eagle, right leg over, right arm under. And we're going to go somewhere here. So once you feel steady, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring your elbows to your knees. Inhale, unwrap that leg and send it back into Warrior 3, arms bound. Unwrap your arms, send them back into airplane. Staying focused on your breath, letting that and your gaze steady you. Move into tree without touching down. Right leg up. And use this pose as a place of rest as you bring yourself back into center. Take a deep breath in and come into dancer's pose again without touching down. Take a deep breath in and reach up. Then exhale and push your foot into your hand and start to open your chest. Exhale, back to standing. Hands at your heart center. Inhale, lift up, reach up. Exhale, one more big breath in, lift up your left knee, and an eagle, left leg over, left arm under. Again, you know where we're going now on this side. And just make a decision now to make every movement with intention. Staying focused on your breath and keeping a steady gaze. Exhale and bring your elbows to your knees. Inhale and lengthen and send your left leg back into Warrior 3. Release your arms and come into airplane. Making your lower standing leg as strong and as straight as possible. Moving now into tree pose without touching down. If you need to touch down, that's fine. But just see if you can move through this section, focusing on your balance and not touching down. Again, coming to a place of rest here in tree. I always enjoy tree pose because it feels like a little break in all the craziness of what can be a yoga practice. Now moving into dancer's pose. Make sure you feel yourself strong and steady in your standing leg before you push in and start to open up your chest. You can't create a safe back bend without having a steady foundation. And then on your next exhale, come out. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. And chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And take a few breaths here. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, bring your right knee to your right elbow. Right leg up. Right knee, left elbow. Right leg up. Right knee, right elbow. Right leg up. Right knee, left elbow. Right leg up. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Left knee, left elbow. Left leg up. Left knee, right elbow. Left leg up. Left knee, left elbow. Left leg up. Left knee, right elbow. Left leg up. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Breathe in, come to high plank. Exhale, low plank. High plank. Low plank. High plank. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come to high plank and lower slowly all the way down to the mat. Take one ear to the mat and just relax. Bend your knees. Take your feet in your hands, feet or ankles, whatever is easiest for you to grab. And on your next exhale, push your feet into your hands and come up into bow pose. This will be a nice chest opener, really pushing and opening up. Seeing if you can smile while you're staying suspended, lifting up even a little bit higher. One more big breath in, and then exhale and come down. Release your feet. Take your other ear to the mat. Take a couple breaths to recover here. Now bend your knees, take your feet or your ankles again, and exhale, lifting up, pushing your feet into your hands. Really strong legs here. Lift your gaze if you can, lifting your head up, lifting the corners of your mouth up, smiling a little bit, and then come down. Sometimes it's painful to open up your chest, open up your heart, but we should always be smiling because we're just allowing more love to come in. Plant your hands underneath your arms and come into upward facing dog. One more big breath in, and then downward facing dog. One more big breath in, empty out, and then float forward. Go ahead and just roll onto your butt, and then come into boat pose. A little bit of core work here. And as you're lifting your legs up, see if you can get a sense of bow here. That pose we were just in, with your chest very open, almost leading with your heart, not allowing your chest and your shoulders to cave forward. As you roll forward, plant your hands and lift up. Back into boat pose. Keeping your shoulder blades hugging together. One more big breath in. Cross your ankles, plant your hands and lift up. Back into bow. Straight spine, big inhale, exhale. One more big breath in. Plant your hands, roll forward and hover. Go ahead and just roll all the way onto your back. Massaging your spine, rolling back and forth, side to side if you'd like, whatever feels good. Some people like their back bends before their ab work. I really like them afterwards, not only to really open up my chest and my heart, but to give my abs a good stretch after working hard. So go ahead and plant your feet on the ground and lift your hips up and come into bridge pose. Make sure your knees aren't falling out to the side. Remember to keep them in hip width distance apart. And then come down on your next exhale. We're going to do 2 more. So whether you want to take a bridge or a wheel, or 1 more bridge and 1 wheel, or 2 wheels, or just 2 more bridges, whatever works for you. Go ahead and set yourself up. And then lift up on an inhale. One more big breath in, and then slowly come down. Take a couple breaths here, and then get set to go again. I challenge you here not to push yourself, but I challenge you to find what feels best. Does it feel better to go into a full wheel? Or does it feel better to stay in bridge? Does it feel better to lift one leg up? Does it feel better to come on down to your forearms if you're in wheel? And then when you're ready, just come down. Slowly and mindfully, and then squeeze your knees into your chest. Rock side to side, up and back if you'd like. Then take your feet in your hands and come into happy baby. Pressing your hands into your feet and pushing your feet into your hands. So this is a very active hip opening pose. Your hands are going to win this tug of war, or this push of war, I guess is what you'd call it. Go ahead, release your hands and squeeze your knees back into your chest. Rocking side to side. And then rolling up and back. Do that a few times and then meet us in down dog any way that you'd like. If you want to plant your hands, come into chaturanga, up dog, down dog, or just slowly moving into down dog, whatever feels good for you. Take a couple breaths here. Inhale, lift your right leg up and step it forward to warrior one. Inhale and come up. Exhale, warrior two. Once you feel yourself set in warrior two, inhale your front knee straight. Exhale, come forward and down into triangle. You really want to get a sense of your hips stacking on one another, your hips open and stacked to the side of the mat. Getting a nice, good side body stretch if you want to reach your upper arm forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Then inhale and come up. Point your toes to the left side of the mat. Come into a nice strong straddle and then fold forward. Being conscious to hinge at your hips and not just rounding your spine down. On an inhale, lift halfway. Plant your left hand down on the mat and then lift your right arm up. If you want to reach your right arm straight into the sky, that's great. If you want to take it to your hips, we're just going to get a nice, easy stretch here, nice, easy twist in our spines. But we want to keep our hips flat. We want to keep them level. And take the twist in lightly in our lower back and mostly in our upper back. Exhale, bring your right arm down. Inhale, left arm up. And same thing here. Taking your left hand to your hips, if that's to help you get a sense of them being level. Or keeping it in the air, whatever feels best. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands to the floor. Back into that full stretch. Point your toes to the front of the mat. Walk your feet in a bit. And then just fold forward in pyramid pose. Some call this runner stretch. Really get a sense of your weight being evenly distributed between your front and back legs as much as is possible. And the more you can keep your hips square to the front of the mat, the more you can access that right hamstring. Inhale, halfway lift. If you need to, walk your feet in a little bit more. And then we're going to come into twisting triangle. Left arm down, right arm up. If you need a block here, that's awesome. You really want to keep the twist in your upper back as much as possible, keeping your hips level and squared towards the front of the mat. Inhale, lift your arm up. Exhale, high to low plank. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog on a big exhale. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, step it forward, warrior one. Inhale and come up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten your left knee. Exhale, come forward and then come down into triangle. Remember to keep those hips stacked as if you're being pressed between two panes of glass. You want to be very lined up, very stacked in this pose. You want to reach your arm forward towards the front of the room. Sending lots of energy through that upper arm, through those fingertips. Breathe in and reach up. Exhale. Big breath in and come up. Point your toes to the right side of the mat. Take a deep breath in, lift up through your chest, and then hinge at your hips all the way down. Interlace your fingers behind your back, and then let your arms just fall forward. Get a nice little shoulder stretch here. Release that bind. Continue to stretch. Halfway lift. Come into our Spider-Man stretch, bending your right knee, straightening out your left leg. I like to lift my left toes up, point them towards the sky, to kind of get deeper into this hip opener. Now switch sides, nice and slow. And what you're trying to do here is to point those right toes up to the sky and bring your left heel all the way down to the mat. Switch sides again, bending the right knee, taking the right heel to the floor. And if you'd like to take a bind here, you can take your right arm in front of and reach behind your right leg and take your left arm behind your back to meet it. This kind of intensifies the stretch and also makes a nice heart opener. Inhale, release the bind, switch sides. If you took the bind on the right side, go ahead and take the bind on the left side. Full bind or half bind, you can always use a towel or a strap if you'd like. Just whatever you need to do here to open up your chest a little bit more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, back into your straddle. Point your toes towards the front of the mat. Walk your feet in. And just relax over that front thigh, coming into pyramid pose. Imagine your legs were like scissors and you're squeezing them together even though they don't move. That's the feeling that's going to give you a lot of stability. Take a halfway lift. And then we're going to come into twisting triangle. That same sense of stability will help you in this pose as well, even as you're twisting. Really sending your left hip back and your right hip forward, getting them straight with the front of the mat. It's always funny to see what feels like straight is and what straight actually is. And then exhale into high to low plank, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step it forward into half pigeon. Fold forward whenever you're ready. And don't waste any time really getting into this pose, really getting into that hip. It's done a lot of work over the last hour or so. Go ahead and dive in. Give it the stretch it needs. If you'd like here, you can straighten your left arm out, get a shoulder stretch. You can lift your right arm up and take it behind your back into the bind, reaching for that right toe. And very gently keeping that bind, you're going to lift up, keeping your right big toe with your right hand. Once you come up, bend your back knee and take your left foot with your left hand. Just get a really nice heart opener here. Still continuing to open up your hips, your left quad, left hip flexor, as well as that right back hip. Release your bind, plant your hands. Inhale and lift up. Exhale, push into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, step it forward to half pigeon. Once you feel set here, take a big inhale and lift up through your chest, and then fold forward. Again, not wasting any time, sending your attention straight to that left hip, or wherever it is that you're feeling this stretch today. Not to where you felt it last week, or even yesterday, or this morning. Right to where you feel it now. If you'd like, straighten your right arm across your chest, getting a good shoulder stretch, pushing your right shoulder closer towards the mat. Then inhaling and lifting your left arm up, taking it behind your back, and if you'd like, taking the bind. All of these movements in your own time, and that might even mean that you don't do them at all. Just staying right where you are if it feels exactly like what your body needs. Now very gently and very carefully start to lift yourself up, keeping your bind. Bend that back knee. Take the right foot with the right hand and allow yourself to just open up. Release your back foot and release your bind. Plant your hands, lift up, and then exhale back into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Breathe in and exhale. Step or jump forward and then come on to your back. Come all the way down, rocking and rolling on your spine if you need to, and then come up into shoulder stand. If shoulder stand is difficult for you, too tough on your neck or back, just place a block under your hips and lift your feet up into the air and come into waterfall. Focusing on your breath here, even though it may be difficult to breathe. Noticing what changes you have to make to stay continually connected to that deep, strong breath. Now slowly move into plow pose, taking your feet over your head. Or if shoulder stand is just feeling especially good, go ahead and stay there. Do what your body needs. If you're in plow, bend your knees and come into deaf man's pose. Or just stay in plow. When you make these decisions, move from a positive place. Don't stay in a pose because you're scared of the next. Don't go to the next pose because this one feels so good. Straighten your knees back into plow. And then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, bring your lower back down to the mat. And when your lower back hits the mat, go ahead and get set up for your final twists. Squeezing both knees in, nice and tight. Giving yourself a great big hug. Showing yourself love. Squeeze your right leg in, straighten your left leg down the mat. If you want here, you can lift up your left leg and send that left heel forward while squeezing the right leg in just to give a little more resistance. And then twist, taking that right knee over to the left. It feels so good to just let go. After working so hard and putting so much effort into your practice, the best thing you can do now is just let go. Bring your right knee back to center. Squeeze both legs in and squeeze your left leg in and send your right leg down the mat. Again, if you want here, lift up that right leg, pushing that right heel forward and squeezing your left leg in. And then twist over to the right. So many times in life, it seems like it doesn't necessarily matter how hard we work. Some things just end up the way they are, whether we'd like them to or not. And that's okay. It's not, however, a reason to not work hard. So bring your left knee back to center and squeeze both knees in. One last big squeeze. Lift your head up to your knees. And then relax into Shavasana. Palms facing up. Toes relaxing out. Just letting yourself sink into the mat. Letting yourself let go. In our yoga practice, there is this idea, this balance of practice and non-attachment. Meaning, we come and we work hard and we do our practice. We do what we have to do. But at the same time, we let go of what the results may be, of how things end up. We don't have to worry about that. Our job is not to worry about the final outcome, how things look, how the world is put into place. Our job is just to show up and do our part, trusting that that will be exactly what is needed. Surrender yourself to that feeling of trust. In your practice now, that what you've just done, whether you did every single pose perfectly or you spent a lot of time in child's pose or anywhere in between, trust that what you've done is exactly perfect. What you've done in this practice is exactly what your body needed. Because it is. When we call yoga a practice, we come in for an hour and 15 minutes or whatever it may be. And we do these poses. And we listen to what the instructor may say. But it's called a practice because the idea is to take it into the rest of our lives. What are we practicing for? We practice yoga for life. We roll out our mats so that the things that we learn on them, we can take with us when we roll them back up. So as we take these last few minutes in silence, just allow yourself to sink into and let go into the trust, the faith that everything you do is enough. That you are enough. Slowly bring your awareness back into this room from wherever it might have gone. Gently and kindly. Take a deep inhale and then let go. And again, filling up your body with breath, with life, every single part of you, and then just let it go. Slowly roll to your right side and curl up into the fetal position. And with these last few breaths, just develop a sense of gratitude. A sense of gratitude for the knowing that you are enough. Slowly come up to a seat. With your hands at your heart center. Bring your hands to your forehead center. May we have eyes that are open to the truth. Bring your hands to your heart center. And may our hearts be ever expanding. Take a deep breath in and say namaste.